Hey guys, Thunder here. Today I wanted to come talk about PvP a little bit with one of my more favorite and pretty popular used PvP build. I usually refer to it as the Fire Blaster. The reason I call it that is because we're using 4 red from Inner Fire for our main damage, and it's called Fire Fire Fire. And with that 300% attack, oh my goodness, your attacks just melt your opponents. It's like you point a cannon at them and said goodbye. Um, it does so much damage. This build is going to primarily be leveraging a couple of things. The first is the Your Heal My Gain Shield, which is great for your defensive PvP setups. The Windwolf is particularly fantastic because anytime you drop your opponent's shield below 45%, you drop their melee power 14%. So that's pretty good. Once you've gotten one good whack on them, you really get a strong debuff on them, which is just awesome. We combine this with Sacred Rage, which is quite popular, so anytime the opponent heals, we heal and we attack them. Very easy. Alright, and that will generate red spirits from using Hecatombus for the red order. Alright. In addition, we like to bring Inner Fire, like I said, for that fire, 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 and a little bit of red spirit recovery. This does burn off our shield, but for that crazy damage, we're not worried at all. In addition, I don't really need it, but I like to bring Chilling Cold. Because if we happen to get 4 blue, having an extra stun on the opponent with a little bit of shield recovery is just nice while you're trying to clean up your board. So if you happen to start with 4 blue and you stun somebody, it just feels good. Alright, so let's go and talk a little bit more about this. This build is actually a hybrid build for offensive or defensive play. For defense, it's pretty simple. You're expecting your opponent to face you, drop some sort of heal. It's going to trigger your Windwolf. Hopefully they're going to keep healing. You're going to fill up your board with red spirits. And Inner Fire just hits so hard. You're likely to kill your attacker if you get enough like 2 Inner Fires, maybe 3 off, which is not that unlikely if they're healing. So this makes really strong defense. On your server, if people are attacking with a ton of turtle style builds, you can swap out Inner Fire for something like Bloodlust. And Bloodlust, it's going to still have a heal, which will trigger more heals all around and lots of red spirits, but you really are here so you can leverage that cannot be stunned. Normally I don't do this on the global server, it's not too popular right now, and Fire 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 gives us more reliable damage and doesn't give us more healing, so there's less likely that an opponent is going to very easily set up their board using a Truncheon or a Hecatombus or something like that. So I'm going to stick with Inner Fire here. Now, this build is also able to be offensive, and the way you do that is you actually enter the battle, you heal, and you're typically trying to fight someone who also has a Windwolf or any other Your Heal My Gain shield, because what you're going to do is have those 2 shields bounce back off of each other and flood the boards with red spirits, or blue spirits on their board if they have a Truncheon. You just want to flood the boards with spirits, and then you're just going to blast them down with Inner Fire at a pace they really can't heal through or deal with. This is very much a build that relies on you being stronger than your opponent if you choose to use it on the offensive. Because what you're going to actually do is rely a little bit on the AI getting confused when you're low health and wanting to heal. So the AI is not going to be as smart. And you're also going to be relying on the fact that you can take their hits, but they can't take your hits. So your worst enemy is probably dodge. But crits, oh boy, are they fun with this much damage. So let's go ahead and showcase this. Let's see what we got for some opponents here. Oh, I actually want to set that up over here real quick, because I was showing another build. My bad about that, everybody. Where's my Wind Wolf? There it is. And 1, 2, 3. Yep, we're looking good there. Okay. Let's see. So we have a couple of options here. I like Damon, so we're gonna hit this 3A KAT guy. He has a Bloodlust, so he might have a little bit more healing, but all that's going to do is flood our board with red spirits, so I'm not really worried. Alright, loading in. The first thing we really want to do is take our board and turn it into a destructive mess. So what I'm going to do is come right here to these 2 whites and just poof, trigger a heal on myself, smack him, turn it into this back and forth smacking fest. And you can see he attacked me with a Bloodlust. That caused a heal, and we just beat each other up. Because we went back and forth for a few times. He used Bloodlust on his turn because he had 4 red. That triggered another heal chain, and we just smacked each other back and forth like crazy. And notice that we're still in pretty decent situations. He's got cannot be stunned, but I'm not worried about that. And now we just start crushing with Inner Fire. And look at that. It just melted his health. And he's trying to heal, but the Sacred Rage talent is really keeping his healing down. So this is just going to let us use more Inner Fire. And just, you can't stand up to very many Inner Fire attacks. Even if you're reasonably comparative on gear, or they're slightly higher, maybe they can last 3. If you're using one of the more meta health and attack style builds. But it just does so much damage. So really keep an eye out for that when you're picking your fights. Like, Inner Fire hits hard. Alright. So that is going to end my tutorial for the Fire Blaster PvP build. I hope it brings you lots of great defensive wins, and I hope it helps you climb up a little bit in your PvP rankings so you can get your honor for all your talent seeds, elite shards, or maybe even that cool cosmetic. With this, I'm going to ask anyone if you could like and subscribe. That really helps other people find this channel so they can learn and get better at Questland as well. And if you're interested in supporting me, please check out my Patreon. You get all kinds of early updates for things I'm working on and some other goodies. Alright, thunder out, and best of luck in your brackets.